この先を見ろ。まだ見ぬ敵を、宇宙最強を。お前が誇り高きサイヤ人の血を引く者ならば、俺の息子ならば誰にも負けることは許さん。俺超えてみせます。目の前の敵も父さんも。地球は俺が守ってみせる。
Alright everybody, we are hopping into a 55% showcase here for the new Carnival LR Future Gohan. So I have mine here at 55%, level 10 links. He is rainbowed, but I mean, I haven't put the orbs in him yet. Yeah, it was a journey. We'll just say that. Anyway, here he is, level 1 links. Got him right here. We have the friend. The friend is also 55%, but they are a little link leveled and they do have equips on them. So this is literally, I awakened Gohan on my stream. I charged my phone up. I took a bubble bath. I rainbowed him. Or, well, I pulled enough dupes to rainbow him. But here we are. We're hopping into the 55% showcase first. So, just because I wanted to go ahead and get this out. Now we're going to actually float off the friend Gohan because, of course, it wouldn't be a showcase if you didn't get the double leader rotation here. So we're going to float him off. Let's just go ahead and we'll prioritize orbs with Future Gohan. Future Gohan, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at his kit here. We'll go over a full breakdown at the end. But he does get additional super attacks whenever Ki is 18 or more or 20 or more. And then he gets crits after you activate the domain and you're at 24 Ki. But just baseline, he gets additionals whenever you hit 20 Ki. He gets 2 of them. One of them is guaranteed. One of them is a 50% chance. And then he also builds up attack and defense and Ki with each attack performed. So let's go ahead without further ado and get going here. You know, I've blabbered on long enough. You guys just, you know, want to see the numbers. Here we go. He's starting out at 131k defense. He gets a lot on super attack, and he also builds up in his passive. So I haven't done any calcs on this guy. We're just going to kind of figure it out as it happens. So let's go ahead and see how he does. Now, as far as how you want to build this guy, even if you only have him at 55%, you can give him equips. As far as which equips I would give him, I'm probably going to do a bronze defense. For now, I'll probably just do a level 5, but once Global gets to level 7s, I might throw a level 7 on him if I get one. And then for the gold slot, I'm going to do a dodge and defense equip. And then for silver, I'm probably going to do maybe additional. We'll see how I'm feeling. I don't even know how many super attacks we got there, but he did a 5.5 million, so I mean, I'm gonna guess that that's pretty good. All right, so here this Gohan's at a 2.7 with no links active. Let's see what he does here. So a 2.7 into a 2.2, and then I guess he's going to do one more guaranteed after this, and then he could do one more because the friend actually does have additional equips on theirs. Yeah, additionals can be really good for this guy. I think what you want to do is prioritize dodge and then go additional, or the reverse. If you're somebody that just really despises dodge and you just cannot put it on characters, then I would say go for additional first and then dodge. Some people would tell you to put crits on him, and I kind of get it because he doesn't have any crit until his domain activates. But once you actually hit his 5th turn and he can activate his domain, which is essentially his 3rd rotation, then this guy just gets insane. Because he, activates the domain, City, Future, Rainy for 5 turns, and whenever that's active, he gets orb changing, so it's really easy to get him a ton of Ki, and then he gets guaranteed crits at 24 Ki, so at that point, crits are pretty much useless on him. But if you want to try to bank for him, getting Ki, or like getting crits before you actually get the domain out, I understand. So here we go. We have a pretty good rotation for him here. We have, what is this, 5 out of 7 links activated. We have support from Int Mai. We could go ahead and get support from these guys as well and just, boost these defense numbers up. I'm going to assume that he did 3 attacks last turn, which, I mean, he could have done 3 guaranteed. So we have 3 out of our 5 Ki built up, and then 60% of our 100% attack and defense built up here. So that is pretty good. So we need 2 more attacks to build that fully up. And then we are, you know, getting attack and defense on our super attack effect. Pretty good here. Now, I'm going to save their active skill for a little bit later in the fight because this is a full Future Saga team, so we actually can use their active skill whenever at this point. So let's go ahead and grab these key spheres here for them, and then we can get a full 24 key with Future Gohan. Again, 209k defense is, you know, pretty good considering he is getting a lot on his super attack effects. So on his 18 key, he is getting 50%. And then on his 12 key, which he can do, you know, 2 of on this rotation, it gives him 30%. So that is pretty good. Pretty good here. And then he also has his last 2 bits of buildup that he can do. So he's going to be at a pretty respectable point defensively. Plus, he'll still have 80% damage reduction. Because he does get 40% damage reduction for 5 turns. He gets 20% baseline, and then he gets 20% when launching a super attack. So, pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. He gets 20% when launching an 18-key super attack specifically. So, there may be instances where you can only get 12 key. Let's go ahead. Let's see what he puts up here. This is probably... If we get a triple super... Well, no. This won't be the best numbers he does. His next rotation... Well, I don't know. We'll see. Listen, we'll figure it out. We'll just appreciate what he does. How about that? So this will be his 4th out of 5th build-up. This Zamasu is immortal, so we don't have to worry about, like, KOing him or anything. The only thing we really have to worry about is if this guy decides to super attack Tech Trunks. We could die just because Tech Trunks takes a little bit to get built up. And this Int Zamasu does hit pretty hard, so... it seems like every time I try to come into this fight... Int Zamasu just decides he's going to super attack that Tech Trunks, so we're going to try to avoid that this time, but he you know, just has it out for him. Alright, you know, you're not going to do anything to Vegeta and Trunks, though. They are too good. So a 6.4 million attack stat. Again, he has at least 1 guaranteed, and then he has a 50% chance to do another one, so pretty good. So there's the 50% chance, but he should be fully built up now. So now this one's guaranteed at a 5.1 million attack stat on a... 12 key super is pretty good. Next turn, we will activate his domain on turn 6, so this next turn is going to be insane for him. I don't think we'll have any support up for him. Who do we have? Oh, we'll have Int Future Gohan, but Int Future Gohan will transform, so it's not really going to be beneficial to us. I'm going to leave STR Gohan here in slot 1. He should still have his intro buff up, you can tell, because we haven't activated the domain. That's kind of how you can tell when you're on the last turn of your intro, is whenever his domain goes up. Except for in this guy's case, this is actually his last turn of the domain, because it is actually turn 5. So why actually is it not activating? Because it starts from his 5th turn, from the start of turn... Oh, it has to be turn 6. Right, so this guy will have his intro buff up until turn 6, but we won't be able to see him on turn 6 because he's on the other rotation. So, if you're leaving them on rotation, then the way that you can tell when, like, their intro buff is on its last turn is whenever the domain goes up. However, whenever this guy, like, let's say hypothetically the other Gohan wasn't on the other rotation, then whenever we got back to this rotation, we would activate the domain with this guy, but his intro would not be up because it's already been 5 turns. So. Anyway, that's a long way of saying let's go ahead and put him in slot 1 and just grab him some key here. Look how much key he's starting with at the start of turn, by the way. Something tells me that key is not an issue for this guy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think key is an issue for him? You let me know. Should we save these? Oh, no, he changes int key spheres. Okay, so we can just grab these physical. Pretty good. Okay. We're gonna, yeah, we're fine here. We stunned him. 6.8 million attack stat here from the friend, I believe, who has also done 3 super attacks up to this point. So there's one. 50% chance to do a second one. We got it, but just the normal. Well, I mean, we're always going to get the normal, but we got the 50% chance. And then a 4.9 on the guaranteed one at 20 key. So we'll go over that at the end, but at 18 key, he gets a guaranteed additional as a 50% chance to be a super, and at 20 key, he gets a guaranteed super. So that's what I'm referring to there every time I've been saying that. I don't know if I made that clear or not, but I figured I would just re-explain because somebody's just going to hear me throwing out percent chances and talking about attacks and stuff, and they're going to be like, what are you saying? What are you saying? I always recommend that whenever you guys watch my videos, you pull up, like, the character's kit, like on another monitor or something, or maybe on your phone, and just read along with me. That way you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I do go over it at the end, but you know, it can be a little bit confusing whenever you're trying to follow along with what I'm talking about, and you just like can't see the kit and you can't see the lines that I'm talking about. By the way, I do want to point out something on this next turn I just noticed. Running this double Future Gohan team at 55%. Have you guys noticed something about our team? I just noticed it. I don't know if you guys did. You see, okay, here's the domain activating, by the way. So now it's City Future Rainy. We are at 790,000 HP. What? 700... Guys, these guys are at 55%. We have, like... What the... Okay, so essentially, like, his stats are going to go up by about 3,000 or so, give or take, at Rainbow. So that's essentially 6,000 HP each from each Gohan that we're missing out on this team. Multiply it by 5 for the leader skill buff. We would be at like 820,000 HP on this team. What? Guys, that is actually insane. All right, let's go ahead and use the Vegeta and Trunks active skill. And then we'll use the Gohan active skill. He is fully built up. He still has his intro buff up. 262k defense. We're fully built up in his passive. He gets, you know, 50% on super attack from his 18 key. So he will be at, what is that? 130 is what you would add to that. So he'll be at 390 post super attack. And then if, you know, he gets the guaranteed additional. So that's like another, what is that? 30%. So 30% of 260 is about 85-ish K or so. So then he'd be at, what did I say he'd be at? He'd be at like 390 plus about 80. So he'd be somewhere around like 475-ish or so. And then if he got another one, he'd be like at 555 or something like that. I'm doing that all in my head. So somebody, you can bust out a calculator and check that yourself. But needless to say, that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and use the Vegeta and Trunks active skill. I'm just going to turn the skips on for theirs, I guess. We'll just, you know, hit Zamasu with it, whatever. Alright, nice. Now let's go ahead and use the Gohan active skill here. So, whenever you get 24 ki, he gets a guaranteed crit, which means his active skill will always be a guaranteed crit. I'm going to play it on Rose, and let's see. I don't think he'll just one-shot Rose, but let's see if Gohan, type disadvantage, can just kill Rose by himself on this turn. This domain, by the way, is supporting us, technically, because it does give all of us, what is it, I believe... Where is it? Hang on. Where does it not have the domain skill here? Where? Well, I mean, I think it gives like 30% attack and defense dealt. I just don't see. Hang on one second. Okay, I found it. But the Dokkan info site, unless I am just missing it, does not have the Dokkan field attributes on the character screen. So I had to pull up the T6 wiki just to confirm, but the field, what it actually does is increase damage received by extreme class enemies and allies by 30%. So essentially the same effect as the Infinite Zamasu, but for super class instead. So let's go ahead and play this active skill again. Let me just double check that the skips are off. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and play this. Alright, that was a solid chunk of damage there. And now Gohan is doing guaranteed crits. By the way, look at all of these STR key spheres. He doesn't have the highest defense ever, but, I mean, this is still going to give us some decent healing. And we are only at 55%, by the way, so... also, did his defense go up, or is that the same? That's the same, isn't it? That's the... It seems like it's higher. What am I missing here? Maybe it's the same. Maybe I'm just crazy. Did I divide this earlier and say that 130 was half of 360? Did I do that? Let's ignore me. Oh, it's because we have the father-son Gallic gun active now, so that's why his defense went up. I'm a dummy. Ignore me. Okay, let's go ahead and just kill Rose. Let's get him out of here. Gohan, guys, I still can't get over that our HP is 791,000. Guys, that's, I don't know if you know if that's good or bad, but that is, very good. I don't know if you know, but, that is actually insane how high our HP is. And this is not like a bad team or anything. This is not like a gimmick team. This is a good team. Oh, we attacked, dang it, I didn't realize I attacked them. I was gonna have Future Gohan just take out Rose on his own. Okay, luckily they didn't do much damage here, cool. I thought I was attacking Zamasu with them, that's my bad. I didn't realize I switched my target. Well, I guess I did. I did switch it for Gohan, and then I didn't switch it back. That's my bad. 8.5 million attack stat here. He is technically giving, like, an active skill support. We just can't see it in the attack stat. We just see it in the actual damage numbers that we deal to these guys. Okay, that's the 50% chance at 18 key. And now we have a guaranteed third one coming in at 6 million. How much damage does this guy do on this turn? He did like an 8 million into a, what was it, an 8 into a 5 into a 6? Or something like that? What in the world? And then we have this guy gonna come in and do his, like, quad super or whatever he does. Guys. Guys, that was, pretty crazy. I think that's pretty much all we needed to see. I might cut and try to get the KO screen here really quick. Let me see if I can get the KO screen. Or we could just move into the breakdown, but let me see if I can get the KO screen. Alright, we're back, and I think I may have held back a little too much with trying to avoid doing damage to Rose here, but we'll still give it a shot. This is the friend, Future Gohan. They are, I believe they're fully built up at this point, I think. We are on turn 5, we have support from Mai here, we have most of our links active, so pretty good, pretty good. We're going to see if we can't get the KO screen. If we don't, I'll just go into the breakdown and we'll try to get it in the Rainbow Showcase. I'm sure we'll get it throughout the World Tour here. One thing about this guy's active skill, by the way, that I forgot to mention, and I'll mention it in the breakdown and everything, but it does give him 5 key and 20% defense for the rest of battle as an active skill buff. So you want to fire that off as soon as possible. So here we go. Let's see if we can't get the KO screen. If we can't, then I will just move into the breakdown. So, stay tuned for that if you are interested. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, it helps if I unmute my microphone here. So the breakdown. So this is Indomitable Fighter, Super Saiyan Gohan Future. He leads the Future Saga category, key plus 3, HP, attack, and defense 200%. This celebration is just further proof that you can take a category that has been dead for a long time, put a celebration around it, buff it, and make it amazing. So Future Saga actually is a very runnable team at the moment, so this is actually a really good leader skill. And as you guys saw, it had almost 800,000 HP here with 255% leaders, so that is, needless to say, insane. Okay, his super attack is the Wild Rush Blaster. Greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. This is not a stack. This is just all for one turn. Colossal damage to the enemy. You can see the buffs here. 50% is greatly raised, 30% is normal raise, both for one turn. His 18 key is the special beam cannon, massively raises attack, which is 100%, and greatly raises defense, 50%. Really good super attack effects. We love this. Attack and defense on both. Beautiful. Love it. One thing, I want to talk about this, right? The ultra super attack is the special beam cannon. I actually think that this is pretty significant, right? With Gohan doing it here in like his Future Saga form. Just like, if you think about it, right? Future Gohan, one arm, that's like his whole thing, right? Is that he loses it in the battle to the androids. Them using the special beam cannon here is actually pretty interesting because, like, Piccolo's first time using it ever is whenever he only has one arm while fighting Raditz. So I think that is pretty interesting, right? It's I don't know if that's intentionally like a callback to that, or if they just wanted to release another Gohan with a special beam cannon or something. But I think that is like an interesting little callback, right? It's like Gohan here only has one arm, and Piccolo's first usage of the attack ever, he only has one arm. I just think that's interesting. So let me know if you guys have any thoughts about that, or if that's just reaching for connections. The theme of the celebration, by the way. All right, his passive skill activates entrance animation upon entry once only. He gets ki +5 and damage reduction of 40% for 5 turns from the start of turn. This is insane. This is very valuable. This is just absolutely good. We love seeing units that just get ki. And then just start a turn forever, he will have ki 3 and 158% to stats. So he's going to be starting out with 8 ki at the start of turn for the first 5 turns. This is very good. That means if you have him on a proper leader skill, you will be at minimum starting at 14 ki before links even kick in. So this is very good. We love to see that. Physical Ultimate Gohan. Take notes, please. All right, so he gets an additional ki +1 up to 5, and attack and defense 20% up to 100% with each attack performed. This is actually pretty good because he does have built-in additionals, and it's just attack. It's not super attack. Whenever I get annoyed with like an ability like this is whenever it's super attack performed. It just makes it to where every time you do a normal attack, you just feel really terrible about it. At least if this guy, gets sealed or he fails your rolls and he's just giving you a bunch of normals, at least he is still building up these buffs, which is nice. So we love to see that. Baseline, he will always have a 20% damage reduction. Very nice. And then he gets an additional damage reduction of 20% and launches an additional attack that's a high chance becoming a super attack when ki is 18 or more. Again, very, very powerful ability. The 18 ki, the additional super attack when ki is 18 or more will give him an extra, 30% defense, which is nice. We love to see that. And then the extra 20% damage reduction is really what you're, after. And getting this guy 18 keys, as we saw in this video, is not going to be very hard. This guy was just swimming in ki, like between the 5 ki here, the 3 ki here, the buildup of 5 ki here. It's like you can very easily have this guy starting out the turn with like 19 ki. So like you're just going to be getting this automatically. And that's again before links even kick in. So that's, crazy. He launches an additional super attack when ki is 20 or more. That's guaranteed. Again, very powerful. We love to see that. And it does help him build up this right here. So, you should be able to get this built up within his first 2 turns, which is excellent. Here's the funny part. Okay. Creates domain City Future Rainy for 5 turns, starting from the 5th turn from the start of turn. Again, by the time you enter the 5th turn, it'll be his last turn with like all of this buff up right here, but you should have all of this built up by the time you get here, even at 55%. We saw that in the video. By the time we were hitting his 3rd rotation, that's how you should think of this, by the way. Whenever it says from the start of turn, that is not the start of battle. That is from whenever you first get this character. So it's their 5th turn. So if you get them on turn 1, then it'll be turn 5. If you get them on turn 2, it'll be turn 6. If you get them in slot 3 and you get them on turn 3, or I'm sorry, if you get them in slot 7 and you get them on turn 3, then it'll be turn 7 before this activates and before this wears off. So just keep that in mind whenever you're playing around him. But essentially, like, whenever you get this active, in most situations, unless you, do some shenanigans, like with floating this guy like we did on the first turn, then this will activate whenever you have your last turn of all of this up, which is, very good. And whenever it is activated, he changes int ki spheres to STR, which is great. That means that you're going to be able to get ki very easily and some healing. Again, very powerful. And then he gets a guaranteed crit when activating the active skill or when ki is 24. So don't really need to give this guy crits. it could help you out, before turn 5, but I think those first 2 rotations you should just be focused on building him up anyway. That I don't really think that the like giving this guy crit, it feels like kind of a waste. We saw that this guy was getting the 24 key, by the time we got to like turn 5 pretty consistently and very easily. And then another thing too is that he has the active skill that can be activated, once you like get to turn 5. Really, well, once you get the domain activated, right? The domain has to be activated in order to use this. Pretty much just once you get to turn 5, you can use the active skill, Great Condition. It's going to give him another 5 key. In case he didn't already have enough key, in case he just didn't already have enough key, he gets 5 more, and he creates key spheres. So getting guaranteed crits with this guy once you get to turn 5 is going to be great. And then you don't really need to give him a ton of additional because he already has built-in additionals. So I would say dodge is what you want to go for this guy whenever you're building him. But you guys let me know how you guys decide to build him. Additionals can be good just because, guaranteeing that you're going to get or not guaranteeing, but increasing the probability that you'll get a 3rd attack, or I guess a 4th attack, is obviously going to be pretty good. So I would advise no crits on this guy or very little crit, and then go mostly additional and dodge. However you decide to split it up is up to you. I will probably be going about 20 dodge and then maybe, I don't know, 10 additional or something like that. That's, I think, what I'm going to aim for, but we'll see what I actually end up with. I may end up with like 19 dodge or like 16 dodge, and I don't know. We'll see whenever I get there. Link skills are Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, Dismal Feature, Experienced Fighters, and Legendary Power. Here are his categories. You can stop and read those yourself. Go ahead, pause, read them if you want to. He is on a few 200% teams. He's on the Int Kid Gohan, Physical Ultimate Gohan, the STR Goku/Gohan, and his own. I would say the best spot for him right now is just his own team, but you could probably get some use out of him on this guy's team. You probably could. Really on all of these teams you can get some use out of him. Also, these are only the global teams. I think he might also be on Super Trunks' team, so that is good. But Super Trunks isn't out yet on global. Linking partners, as far as this goes, you just want to get this guy next to another Super Saiyan unit that has, Fierce Battle, Super Saiyan, maybe Dismal Future for the key. But you don't even need the key on him, right? So really you just want this guy next to some other Saiyan unit who's going to get his links active, and you can see here he has a million good linking partners, and many of these are meta relevant. So, like this guy's good for the Vegito Blue fight. They're a unit that's kind of good maybe. This guy's one of the best EZAs in the game. This guy is still decent. Jury's out on this guy. We'll see. Let's see, down here, this guy's still pretty good. They're, really good. This guy is, he's not going to link well with this guy because this is like the transformed state, but you guys get the point, right? That this guy, you just get him next to some other Super Saiyan units and he's going to be looking good. So let me know what you guys think about 55% LR Carnival Gohan. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get to link leveling this guy. Hopefully we will have his Rainbow Level 10 links video out sometime tomorrow afternoon, but we will see how my day is looking. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to catch you guys next time.